All right. Welcome back, everybody, to another new episode of A Whole New World, where we're here to put a spotlight on positive things happening in the community and developing that positive mindset. So, as always, it is time for our favorite part of the week, the dad joke of the week. So, where do you learn to make ice cream? At Sunday school.
That's funny.
I got jokes.
It's a good one.
I know, right? So, we are very fortunate to have Miss Sally Kay here from
Hello.
Hot for Golf. She is an LPGA Tour member and, wait, I'm forgetting. No, that's you're LPGA Tour member.
Well, I am an LPGA teaching professional, so
Yes.
it's different than being on the tour because
Oh,
I'm
okay.
not playing on the tour, but I am a teacher with the LPGA, and I'm a Class A with them.
And I am just evidence that you can mess up online, and it's okay, everybody. Just keep it going. So, you are an LPGA instructor.
I'm an LPGA instructor.
Got it.
So,
Okay. So, my apologies. My apologies. There's me jumping the gun. So, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit more about you.
Okay.
And so, where are you from? What'd you do? How'd you get into golf?
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I am from Dallas, grew up in Dallas, and started playing golf in Dallas when I was really young because both of my parents played golf. My dad was absolutely taken with golf and started playing in his 30s and just became obsessed. So if he wasn't at work, then he dragged the family to the golf course. So I grew up running down the fairway, doing cartwheels and
Okay.
playing, trying to find little rocks and twigs in the woods and being on the golf course. So my first love of golf was actually just
a
being on the
cartwheel.
field and just being at the golf course itself. And then I was just around it. So I learned to play, and then I started playing in my tournaments. So I started playing in the NTPGA, which is the North Texas PGA. They have a junior program in which they have golf tournaments that they basically are trying to lift up juniors and help them to grow in the game and be competitive.
What age did this start at then?
I started playing competitive golf at the age of 13.
13. Okay.
13.
That's crazy. I was trying to think what I was doing at 13. Definitely wasn't. I think I was in band. I was doing
you were
band.
probably doing something
Yeah, I was
else.
doing band. That's what I was doing. Band and Boy Scouts. That's me. So
yeah, I started playing in those NTPGA golf tournaments, and then it went on to play golf at Baylor, and then I ended up getting into the golf business, and have been in the business ever since. And
That's
I
awesome.
love it. So I've had different hats in the industry. I've taught. I've worked at golf courses. I've run golf tournaments. I've done junior programs, exclusively women's programs, exclusively teaching men. When I taught at Golf Tech, mainly it was all sorts of different types of people that I've played.
What have you found has been one of the highlights of your golfing career?
Highlights of my golfing career.
Yeah, something you've really enjoyed, or like, oh wow, that was so much fun, or whatever. Like,
there's lots of good times on the golf course.
Okay.
So I love golf, and I'm trying to always bring people into the game. And it's like, if you don't know what that means, then you should try it, because that's how you kind of find those moments. For me, probably it's that's a really good question. I had a hole-in-one with my mother. So that was actually really neat. So although no one else could find their ball, because I played with her ladies group, and they kind of hit the ball different places. I made a hole-in-one, and everyone was kind of like looking for their own ball, but that was pretty fun. So I thought it was cool to have that experience with my mom.
Yeah.
So
what's that? I played a couple rounds of golf, but what's it called where you play the ball that's the furthest?
So that would be like the scramble. So you would play the furthest or the best.
So I bet everybody was like, you know what? We're just going to play a scramble on this hole. Everybody gets a hole-in-one, right? That's,
it would have been really awesome if it had been a scramble. So everybody was playing their own ball then. So,
okay.
Yeah, it was kind of a surprise. Went up there, and I kind of thought maybe it had gone in, but I was helping people find their ball.
Yeah.
I was like, it was in the hole, so it was really neat. Yeah.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thanks.
I know I just get excited when I have a hole-in-one playing putt-putt. So
I get excited when I have a hole-in-one playing putt-putt.
Yeah.
Putt-putt and golf, I don't think it's translatable. I don't know. It's just completely different.
I've seen Happy Gilmore, and that putt-putt's it's a good part of the game, right? You know?
It is. Yeah, putt-putt's fun.
So your dad got you into golf, yes?
My dad got me into golf.
Okay.
He got
at least got you on the course.
My mom also played golf, so we would all go out to the golf course together.
It was like a family thing.
It was a family thing, but it was really my dad's absolute love for the game. For example, we went every single day, no matter what the weather was. So I remember, in Dallas back in the day, you would have like 2 weeks that we would have like ice. So icy days, you can't play, but we would drive to the golf course anyways, and we would just look at it.
Yeah,
that's how much he wanted to play. So
okay, I was going to say, I was like, you guys played in the ice too?
We would just go check it out. We would play if the golf course was open. We played.
Okay,
we played no matter what. So as much as I didn't like that as a kid, I loved that experience that I had basically when I went to college, because I played in the Big 12 and you're traveling up north and playing in different conditions than what you're used to here in Dallas. So that was good for me.
I like that.
To have been exposed to rain and cold and kind of not being comfortable maybe on the course.
But I'm sure being uncomfortable led for like that growth and that development of persistence. I would have to say. Persistence is probably the wrong word, but, we had a different mindset than those other golfers who were just like, you know what, it's sunny, I'm going to go play. It's a little bit windy. No.
It's true. I love playing in the wind. I kind of like when the conditions get gross or ugly, and I think that's because I feel like I have a little bit of an advantage because I'm comfortable with it. It's not that I'm comfortable, like, being uncomfortable. That's not it. It's that you just kind of learn to not let that be your focus and to kind of control what you're thinking about.
Yeah.
And not get caught up in, I'm cold, or, it's so windy, I can't play golf in this, and that kind of negative stuff that doesn't really get you anywhere when it comes to, playing better golf.
Yeah. So, can't help but think the very last time that I played golf, it was a pretty nice day, but I ended up killing a duck.
Okay, that's not funny. Actually.
No, it's it is, but it isn't. It's one of those
Aww.
But so, needless to say, I ended early that day. I'm not a good golfer.
That kind of ruined that. That can happen. That can just happen because you're in nature and.
Yeah. To be fair, I tried to move the duck. Like, I poked it with the golf club and was, like, trying to scare it. It didn't move, and I thought I was going to shank it just like I did every other hole that day. And so, so we got in the golf cart, and we're like, yeah, we're going to go home now.
Oh, that's such a damper on what should be, like, a good day.
It should be. So, but... so needless to say, I haven't played golf in a while. But what I do like about golf, though, is just the mental game. And I like watching golf and, like, golf movies. Like, one of my favorite movies is The Legend of Bagger Vance.
That's a great movie.
It is such a good movie.
It was a good book.
Yes. And it was
what
a
do
book?
You like? It was a book.
I did not know that. Okay.
So what do you like about the movie the most?
For me, golf is such a mental game. Just that it ties so much into life, and that he was able. I like the kind of like the God aspect of it, like helping him through it, but that he was able to work through his stuff. Like, his personal life was coming into the golf, but, like, I'm sure the golf translated to his personal life too. With just like, I love movies with great character development. So that is one of those up there, just because you see his change from where he was and all the despair that he was in, and then you see him blossom, into what his former self, and often better person, I think, than what he was. But yeah, what about you? What do you like about it?
The Legend of Bagger Ants. I loved all of the, kind of the philosophy that they had in there, and trying to find your authentic swing. I love that, because I do think that we each have an authentic swing. Maybe we have so many different models in golf that are taught, and different models that people use. I mean, that would be the same with any sport or, anything. Music, you have like a game plan for, okay, this is the right way to do something. But we all have different bodies, and so we might have a different swing. We might have a swing that's more authentic for us. Maybe it's a varied speed. Then my speed of my golf swing might be a little bit different than yours. And that might be better for me because of, just my personality. So I think we do have some things that we have to kind of learn about ourselves when we play golf. And there is a huge relationship between how you are in life and then how you are on the golf course. And that's something that people always talk about when they talk about doing business with people on the golf course, that they like to do a golf round so that they can learn about the people that they're doing business with, just because it does show so much of your character. Like, are you going to get so upset and flustered because you missed a 2-foot putt or shanked it? How do you handle it? And so those types of things do carry over. I do believe that, and they probably carry over to other parts of your life as well, not just golf, right? Not just depends on what you're into.
I think there's many sports that that ties into real life. You can take that, like there's a team aspect of it, but I just really, I'm fascinated with golf, and I say I haven't played since my little incident, but I want to get back into it just because I want to, I just love the mental aspect of it. Like you said, like, what are you going to do with you have a bad shot? And I think because we all have those bad shots happen to us in our everyday life. And just developing that is so important to me that I'm gonna take some lessons, because I've never actually had lessons, and I'm one of those people that would get frustrated, and I'll be like, I'll just drive the golf cart.
It's hard when you haven't had any instruction at all to go out there and then to feel comfortable and kind of understand that you have a place. And this is the thing for those people that are listening that have never played golf before. Guess what? Everybody starts in the same place. Yeah. Nobody hops out of the womb knowing how to play golf.
Well, maybe Tiger.
Well, no, he still had to learn it. There's probably people that have a natural inclination towards doing golf, but they probably would have had a natural inclination towards doing other things that are similar. So we all start in the same spot, and there's room for new golfers out there. It's just kind of getting past, like, okay, everyone else seems like they're better, but everybody started where you started when you first began.
No, I love it. And it makes me think of, I've been putting a quote with the show, where did it go?
Is it the Amy Alcott?
Yeah, the Amy Alcott.
Yes, I saw that.
Keep your sense of humor. There's enough stress in the rest of your life to let bad shots ruin a game you're supposed to enjoy.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's what it is. Life, we're supposed to be able to be here to enjoy life. We're supposed to enjoy golf. And just because I want to keep saying shank because that's a fun word to say. Just because you might be a shankopotamus, just still enjoy that. Take the time to work on your swing a little bit, or actually, in my case, maybe take some lessons. Maybe
learn a little bit about it.
Yeah. But but you seem like you had a pretty strong reaction to that. So what did you feel about that quote?
I absolutely think that. That's one thing as a teaching professional, people will expect there to be this absolute seriousness when it comes to golf. And the thing is, I love golf. I think that it should be fun. Yes, there's days where all the shots go awry or just things don't work out. And so those days can be kind of frustrating, especially if you've worked hard for it and then things are falling apart. You don't know why. That can be a very frustrating experience. But overall, you have to be really grateful for the fact that you're playing golf and you're not, I always say, like, I'm not in some factory, sewing clothes, or like something. Not that that's a bad thing, but I'm here. I'm playing golf. I'm not working right now. I'm able to be playing golf. I'm able to
You're
be
outside.
with my friends, my family. I'm outside. So there's so many things that you should be appreciating about that, and maybe that's not the day to appreciate the bad. Maybe you have a bad shot, so let's not appreciate the bad shots. Let's appreciate the breeze blowing through the trees, or let's appreciate the sky, or let's appreciate the fact that we're healthy enough to be outside playing golf.
Yeah,
those kind of things. You just have to kind of readjust your mindset a little bit so that you're not focusing just on the things that are going wrong, because that starts to snowball. We all know how that works.
No, it does, and it can lead one thing to build on another, and then you kind of feel overwhelmed. And how do I get out of this? And so, but yeah. Going back to Bagger Vance, I remember them talking about the different playing styles of the three of them, and I cannot remember his name. He was a shorter guy, kind of the thicker, but he had learned that you can make like 3 really bad shots, but then make a good shot and still make par, or something, or something along those lines, where like, even though you're making bad shots, you can still make par for the course. You can still have that home run, so to speak.
The wonderful thing about golf is that there's always another shot, so there's that chance at redemption. Like, you can have had 99 terrible shots, but if your 100th shot is like this incredible shot that everyone's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you pulled that off. It goes in the hole, or runs up close to the hole. I mean, that can be more exciting. It could have been the shot of the day out of the whole group, so there's this kind of redemption that in one shot you can kind of, I'm not going to say like undo all the wrongs of the other shots, but in a sense, you only have one shot at a time. So it's always just one shot at a time that we have the opportunity to do. So you're just trying to do that one to the best of your ability and not worry about the ones that are old. So.
Oh, yeah. No, I like it. And it makes me think... You're just saving the good shots for the right time.
That's right.
But
that's right.
I think just how much negativity can be overcome by just like one positive thing. Like people going throughout their day and saying, I really like your golf outfit today.
Well, thank
you. You're welcome. Or like giving you a compliment just out of the blue that you're not expecting can just totally like 180 your day completely.
It's true.
And so, and all the little things that were happening that were bad just kind of fade away. I mean, they were there, but you can't do anything to change them. They're done.
They are done.
Yeah.
They are done. And that's definitely something that is a really big, lesson for a lot of golfers. I think that you and I had talked a little bit about, what is one of the mindsets that people get stuck in, like the average golfer. And I would say the average golfer really gets stuck with understanding how to kind of control maybe their mental thoughts, and thoughts spiral out of control. And those thoughts can spiral out of control in a negative fashion. Basically just, self-doubt or, self-loathing when you're like, oh, why can't I hit the ball? And, this kind of stuff. And it's so frustrating. Anyone that's played golf knows how frustrating it is when it's not working out. And we can just get caught in this like absolute snowball of thoughts, and that can happen, and then it just keeps getting more and more out of your control. Or it could be an overload of thoughts that you're having about like how to do your swing, and your mind is like, okay, my grip is this, where's my weight transfer, where is this, and you have so many thoughts that by the time it comes to swing and hit the ball, you've missed the ball. And that's just because there's too many thoughts. So I think a lot of it is understanding, like, first of all, how to control the thoughts, and then what thoughts are we choosing. That's really one of the most important things that you can do is learn to kind of filter some of those thoughts out and make sure that you are focusing on positive thoughts, because negative thoughts usually are not putting you in a position to grow and to be open-minded to learning. They're usually shutting you down. Yes.
No, I agree 100%. That is... I can't even say it better. Here, you want to be the new host? So, no, but you said it perfectly. And I think part of us too, like, we just want to be that great golfer right off the bat too. And it just doesn't happen like that. And so, but you said, why can't I hit the ball right? I myself am an overthinker. I will do, if I don't just go up there and do it, I'm like, well, what if this happens? And I'm trying to like plan for all these little tiny things, and like, okay, is my stance right? What if I stand a little bit back? What am I? I don't. It's just there's too many conversation. Yeah, thoughts is better than conversations. That makes me sound a little crazy, but
depends on how many people are talking.
Yeah. There's only a couple. It's okay. No, but I mean, and I'm that's something I'm at least aware of it. It's just I haven't quite figured out how to control that, and that's but
well, and it also takes a little bit of time. It's not something that you can just go out there and then just, not have any thoughts. In the beginning, there are lots of thoughts. And just like anything, I always ask people, what do you do, with your job? And people that have been in the whatever business or industry that they're in, it's usually taken years of experience for them to have the ease of the way that they go through their day and they accomplish the task that they're set out to do. And they might think, oh, that's easy. But if they really think back to when they first started and how long it took to be comfortable, I mean, so for people that you remember your first job, or if you even remember like learning to type, think of how slow it was when you couldn't look at your hands, and so it's like boop boop, and then you start to get a little bit faster, but it's not that fast, and it just takes time for there to be this ease. Golf is very similar, and it's very, I'm not going to say foolish, but it's a little bit silly for us to think that we can do as well as someone else when we first begin, because it just takes time to kind of get comfortable with it. And, a lot of times golfers have maybe played for years and years. Maybe they don't play a lot, but they've played here and there, or they might have more experience. I mean, we just don't know. But we can't judge ourselves based on, like, what other people are doing.
Oh, yeah.
Or it's...
No, you
get stuck.
We can never compare ourselves to other people. I mean, we do, but we shouldn't, because I've noticed that when I was younger, I would focus more on, like, this is what I want to do, and I was getting better and better. But when I started comparing myself to other people, then I wasn't making that same progress, because I wasn't seeing my benchmarks. I'm just seeing what other people are doing, when I should be focusing on myself.
Yeah, and it's hard to get out of that. Especially with golf, one of the number one things that men would come to me and say is, like, I want to hit my 7-iron as far as, the buddies in my group. Or they're out driving me with my driver, that was a big thing. Or maybe it's the score, or, there's all these kind of things, but it was usually always in relation to the other people in the group. And when I first started playing golf, I think it was just ingrained in me that you're playing against the course, and so that was kind of always my model, so to speak, is like how to beat the course, and that you want to play the best that you can, and let the best person win, because you're all like the struggle is real.
The struggle.
The struggle can be very real with golf. Yeah. And but you're playing the golf course, and if you focus on that and not comparing yourself to other people, I think that you can get better faster, because you're not getting stuck with comparatives. And then when you get into comparing, then usually we get into like self-doubt, self-loathing. This negative stuff that really doesn't do much to help us to grow and to get better at learning.
Oh yeah, no, 100%, I agree. So, all right, and on that note, we're going to take a quick break. So when we come back, we will continue talking about how it's important to relax when you're golfing, and so you can improve your game. So this is Jacob New with A Whole New World, and we'll be right back. All right, everybody, welcome back to A Whole New World with me, your host, Jacob New, and
Sally K.
Yeah, Sally K. Oh, she beat me to it. She beat me to it, everybody.
I thought you were giving me the signal.
No. I did. It was an unofficial signal. I didn't realize I did. But yeah.
Okay.
You're very good with mind reading. I like it.
Yes. Makes me a great golf instructor.
Yeah. You're like, this is your problem.
It's your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually
yeah. That's usually what people say to me.
Yeah.
No.
That's usually people's problem in the golf course.
Mm-hmm. That's one of the things that we were talking about was just all about the mind game of it all. Mm-hmm. But I do like, we were talking about comparing it, and I feel like when you start comparing, that's when you start to kind of like force the issue. And one thing that I've noticed is when you try to force things, they don't happen. Like going off of golf, like, I mean, dating. Mm-hmm. You try to force somebody to date you, and it doesn't work out, right? I mean, no, it doesn't generally.
Not without desperation.
Yeah,
involved and
nobody
like
likes
weird stuff.
Desperate. Yeah. You try to force somebody to, like, I don't know, buy a product. It doesn't always work. They might buy it, but they might not continue to buy it. You know. So when you do things not out of desperation or out of force, things tend to work better for you. It's one of the things that popped into my mind. But
and then how, like, relaxing is important with that. So when I think force, or when I attribute, like, that word to golf, what I think of is somebody that's incredibly tense, and, you know, every single muscle is tensed, and they're going to try to do a golf swing.
That's me.
And I think what
golf.
People need to, you know, kind of really think about the fact that, what do we like when we watch someone swing a golf club? And we might not know, but I think there's a couple of things that everybody would say. They would love if it was fluid and smooth, and, you know, looks athletic, looks easy.
Yeah.
That comes from being in a more relaxed state. Not that you're so relaxed that you could be laying on the couch eating some potato chips and watching TV relaxed, but relaxed mentally, relaxed with the breath, and also relaxed muscles so that you can make an athletic motion. One of the things that we see with runners before the Olympics is they're shaking out their muscles, and they're trying to get loose before the race, so that when they're ready to go, that their body can respond and do an athletic motion. And golf is an athletic motion, so you want to be relaxed so that your body can do that. Tension doesn't help.
I think I like that you're talking about relaxing your muscles, and we might not necessarily want our minds to be relaxed, because you want that like mentality there, but I do feel like you should have a certain amount of peace kind of in your mind. That helps with that relaxation. So in addition to your body being, I feel like, having that peaceful aspect inside your mind, then that helps with dealing with those bad shots that you get, or that you hit or
it does
get
help
in life.
With that. So, and then, you know, that could be, you could think of being relaxed. There's been a lot of studies that prove that different people really perform golf well under very different conditions. So, for example, there was a study that was done with the scientists that worked with the LPGA to develop some of their learning models and their learning programs. And it's just very interesting, where they did this brain mapping to kind of see what's going on in the brain when people were hitting really good shots. So professionals were given a target, and then they were set up to electrodes, and then they were actually reading what was going on with the brain.
Oh, okay.
And how much activity related with hitting closer to the target. So what they found is that when the brain, sorry about that, when the brain was in a state that was almost similar to, like, right before you're about to go to sleep, or just a complete relaxed kind of state of mind with the mind, is that's when the pros hit the targets, or might have hit the ball in the hole. And that the further away that they got from those targets, there was a correlation with more brain activity. Oh. So that's one of the things that I talk about with some of my clients, is that these thoughts that we have, like being able to control the thoughts and have the right thoughts, are really important. So I like what you said about having, like, a peaceful mind, because I think that maybe where do we get peace? Maybe that's for golf, like having a little bit of preparation, or having a little bit of an understanding of, like, okay, how am I going to focus my thoughts when I start to have like an emotional reaction to the fact that I've shanked it 5 times or I just killed a duck, or all these kind of things that can kind of rattle us when we're out on the golf course. Or maybe your buddy just made a comment that you got under your skin. So those things we have to learn to control, and that takes a little bit of time, but we can have processes that can help calm us down and help get us into that relaxed mindset, into where we can have peace, so that we can make an athletic motion and enjoy the whole process, right?
Oh, yeah. No, I love that. And I was just thinking, it's like one of my favorite ways to find peace is to take a nap. I'm like, I don't think I should do that on the golf course, but, But I
haven't seen that yet.
Just play on through. It's okay. I'm just taking a 30-second nap. It's cool.
I wonder if there's anybody out there that, like, plays and naps.
Yeah.
Maybe one of those people that just can, like, sleep at the snap of a finger. And
maybe,
I've heard of people like that, but I've never heard of that.
Narcoleptics, maybe. I don't know.
I'm so curious. If somebody out there is that way, I would really like for you to reach out to me.
Yeah.
So I think that would be a very interesting conversation.
We want to know how you play golf.
Napping on the course.
But I do like, you did mention breathing, and I think breathing, though, is a huge component. And with anything that I've done, because I lift weights, and with that, breathing's important there. It's important with music. With a lot of athletes, you need to be breathing as you're running or doing whatever, but it also helps calm us down in so many different ways. So
yes, there's another thing that I learned with the LPGA, and we did this. We had all these people get on the putting green, and then we had someone else putt, and one of the markers, like the person that was taking the mark, was actually just watching the breath and whether or not we breathe. So many of us actually hold our breath. So when we get set up to the ball, whether it's for a drive or for a putt, it's like we're actually holding our breath. Well, this is the thing. We need oxygen. Yeah. And when we're not breathing, our brain's starting to get a little bit deprived, and then things aren't going to work as smoothly. So it is so important to breathe, and I think that that's something that has been talked about by a few of the people that are out teaching golf, but I think it's huge. I know before my tournaments, that was something that I would always try to do, is actually control my breath, especially as you got more and more nervous and the stakes got a little bit more high. It helps to kind of calm yourself down and kind of go through some ways to kind of breathe. And if you can keep breathing through it, then you can kind of get past the shaky arms and being nervous on the first tee. Oh yeah, but breathing's huge.
No, I just was thinking, they used to have those commercials on TV. It was like during our Saturday morning cartoons, and it'd be like, stop, breathe, count to 3. I was like, sometimes you might need to count to 10. But doing those breathing exercises is silly, but it sounds silly, but it works. It's work. So crazy, like how well it works too. And I used to be a teacher, and so I do some of those with my class especially after recess, and just their activity level would just kind of like settle. And it was going, if you don't do that and you try to do a class after, it's don't just no. But so I'm huge advocate for breathing. I'm like, don't die, people. Don't hold your breath.
Don't hold your breath.
But take those breaths. I think that definitely helps with the relaxation part.
Yeah, breathing's huge. A lot of times, people will tell me, oh, I've been told to relax before, but I just don't know how. How the very first step is to breathe. Yeah. That's the first step in trying to learn to relax, is learning to control the breath and just getting yourself to a point where you are breathing in kind of a rhythm. That's one good reason. Nowadays everybody likes to ride in a golf cart. And in Texas, I don't blame you, because it's warm. And it's much more comfortable to have drinks and, have your water handy if you need it. Yeah. But walking is one of the things that can kind of start to regulate your breath. So when I played competitive golf, you always had to walk, and you carry your own bag. And there's a synchrony, like things just start to kind of work together with walking and your breath and playing. And I find that that's really helpful. So for people that are struggling with learning to kind of calm down and relax, they might get a lot out of going and walking 9 holes and playing and see if they have like a different mentality, because it kind of forces the breath in a natural way to kind of be more regulated.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'd never heard that before. I'm like, oh, okay, that's good. I like that. So, and then so when you were walking and breathing, which sounds silly when I say it, but like, so were you able to take aspects like that and like breathing and like to apply that elsewhere in your life as well? Or was it, or did you just kind of like, oh, I'm doing this and I don't even like realize that that's happening? Have you noticed like any carryovers, I guess, from golf?
There definitely are carryovers. Yeah. How conscious I was of those when I was a younger player, I'm not so sure that I was that aware of that. It kind of helps when you become a teacher and you become aware of what other people's patterns are, that you start to see like, oh, okay, well, I did this, and this worked for me, and so forth. So you learn as a teacher, and you know that if you've taught before, is that teaching in itself is a huge learning, even for yourself, because you learn so much from other people. I think for myself with the breathing, I think when I first started breathing, it wasn't like I read anything and thought, oh, I need to try to do these, practice breathing. Yeah. It was to handle my stress, because I was nervous. So before golf tournaments, I would get really nervous, and you start to feel the butterflies in your stomach, which I kind of like that feeling. But if anyone's been there, you kind of know your breath starts to tighten up, your hands get, clammy, sweaty, and, you just start to kind of feel really nervous, and then the anxiety kind of kicks in. So for me, it was like really trying to focus on slowing down my breath, because when I noticed that I kind of went off on my own, and I slowed down my breath, and I tried to kind of make everything calm right before I teed off, that really helped me. Yeah. So while everyone else was like running to hit their last putts on the putting green, like I was done with that. Like I spent my last 5 to 10 minutes, or probably 10 to 15 minutes, honestly, before teeing off, just kind of being off on my own, and almost, I'm not going to say like meditating, because like I wouldn't have even been aware of what that was necessarily, but just kind of trying to kind of calm my mind, calm my nerves, and just focus on breathing and being calm.
Trying to bring that peace to your mind.
Trying to bring that peace, and then that was really something that I tried to continue with while I played. So the whole round I would really focus on, trying to get back to slowing my breath down, because it starts to get really fast, and then that's when a lot of bad things can happen on the golf course. I don't know. Start breathing really fast, you start swinging really fast, and then things just kind of spiral out of control.
Just down the way. Wow. So, man, it has been a blast sitting here and talking.
Thanks for having me here. This was fun.
I appreciate it, and I know I've gained a whole new perspective. I'm ready to go back and try the golf course again.
You should come back. Yeah. We should go play. Golf's so fun, and you know what? There's, the poor duck, but it's I gave it a fair chance. He went out on a golf course.
Yeah, he was.
I wouldn't mind going out on a golf course.
Yeah, he looked happy. May he rest in peace.
Anyways,
So, before we go, though, I do know you said you have a podcast coming out this week.
I do.
Would you mind sharing a little bit about that?
Absolutely. I would love to. So I've been, in the golf business for so long, and I just kind of want to help other people, and I realize that the best way to do that is just kind of, share my truth and what's helped me, and just go from there. So I am starting a podcast, and it's called Hot for Golf Podcast, and I am going to launch that on Thursdays at 10 a.m. So
cool.
I will have it out
every Thursday. That's
every
exciting.
Thursday. That's right. And then I'm also doing a personal podcast, and it's called Sally K Today, and it's not about golf at all. It's just personal stuff. So
if people want to get more of a scoop on you,
more of a scoop on me.
Yeah. All right.
So, and I don't really have a set one for that. We'll get there. So I'm not quite there yet.
But you're doing it.
But I'm doing it. I'm doing it. So, and this is something, I'm inherently like shy. So this is, it's it's a new challenge for me that's been kind of fun and exciting. So
yeah,
I'm happy to be here.
I applaud you on
Thank
overcoming
you.
your shyness to do a podcast and being on my podcast as well.
Yeah,
so.
I appreciate it. And if people want to find me or reach out to me, I'd be more than happy to talk with you about golf or whatever. You can reach out at hotforgolf.com, and I look forward to hearing from you.
And that is linked in our show, and that's hot, the number 4, golf.com. So,
all right.
Yeah. So, thank you so much for being a guest on our show today.
Thank you.
And thank you to all of you guys out there listening to us. We appreciate it, as always. And I do have a request again. If you're sitting here and you enjoyed this episode, or you think of anybody that might enjoy this episode, please share this episode with your friends, your family, the guy down the street, the lady on the bus. I don't know. Share this with everybody. Our goal is to spread the positivity with as many people as we can, and I need your help to do that. So if you can help share, and if you haven't already, click that little follow button. Really help us out. So thank you guys for listening. This has been another fantastic episode of A Whole New World with me, your host, Jacob New, and Sally Kay. And as always, if y'all only learn to do one thing, learn to make a difference.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right.